Lesson 23 has new tile pieces, as you'll see on your connection map, and it has several sections. We'll just take them one chunk at a time. The first one we'll look at are more final stable syllables. We saw final stable syllables before, the consonant LE ones like bull, tull, col, zol. These one, T-I-O-N, S-I-O-N, T-U-R-E, and O-U-S, again open up a lot of words for students. They are syllables. The sounds they make are a little unexpected. However, they work and they open up huge words for kids. This gets quite exciting. Let's take a look at T-I-O-N first of all. T-I-O-N says shun. And you may want to show them the written format of how it sounded, because some kids try to go tion and break it down. Doesn't do that. It's always shun. That's how that's read. So the word could be station, nation, internalization. But again, it opens up lots of words. That's always spelled T-I-O-N, and it always says shun. Let's look at S-I-O-N, cautionary sound, oops. It typically says jeune, as in vision. But it can also say shun, just to make life interesting, as in mansion. So station always says shun. Vision can say jeune more often, but it can also say shun. The spelling always stays the same though, S-I-O-N, and it is a syllable. T-U-R-E says chur. So again, you might want to show students the pronunciation chur, as in picture. Future, again, unlocks a lot of words for kids once they recognize that that says chur. And final stable syllable, us, sounds like us, as in tremendous. Again, it is a syllable. It's not a suffix. We can't take it off and be left with a word. It's part of the word, but it's stable. It's always going to be spelt that way, and it will always say us. And continuing on with lesson 22, we're looking at plural s. We've seen suffix s before, and it was with words like one cat, two cats. Spelling of suffix never changes. The sound of it changes here. Again, it has to do with where our mouth is at the end of the base word, dog, dogs. It's going to have that g sound, but actually what we're hearing is the end of the word and then the consonant suffix as well, s. However, there is another suffix for plural, and it's suffix es. And a lot of students always go, well, how do I know when it's es and when it's s? And again, the hint is in the base word, the sound that you hear at the end of the base word. If the base word ends in a sibilant sound, and you go, what's that? That's all the hissy sounds, like s, z, ch, ks, sh. Anytime your mouth is making like a little snaky, hissy sound, in order to make a plural, you have to add suffix es. So, for example, box. We have one box, hissy sound, boxes. Otherwise, we'd be going box. That doesn't work. So we have to have a new suffix, boxes. Let's take a look at another one. Buzz. Buzzes. So we have to have the es. You actually hear the Can't just go buzz. Again, that wouldn't work. So a sibilant sound, you're going to use suffix es. Let's take a look at another one. Church. Sibilant sound, church. Can't go church. Church as. So we hear the s. Brush. Sibilant sound, brush. Brushes. So we hear that s. Suffix es. Another sibilant sound. Let's end with an s. Class. Can't just go class forever. So we're going to go classes. So suffix es. Continuing with lesson 23, we're looking at some rules now that are really spelling rules. So they are optional for the program, but definitely include them if you have time because they help students. We'll look at the dropping rule first. And the dropping rule has to do with words when you're dealing with a word with the silent E at the end, which of course we know makes the vowel long. We talked before about the spelling of a suffix never changing, but the spelling of the base word might. Here's an example of when that's just going to happen. Here's your base word. We are adding a vowel suffix. Remember, Y can be a vowel, and sometimes Y. And in this case, when this happens, we have to remove or drop the E, and we just go to bony. He has a bony finger. Another example. Again, we have the silent E here. Adding a vowel suffix. If we add a vowel suffix, we drop the E and add the suffix. Spelling of the suffix isn't changing, but the spelling of the base word is. Remember, we said it's the vowel suffix who wreak havoc. Let's take a look at a consonant suffix. We have the silent E. We're adding a consonant suffix. So we are not going to change anything. We just simply add it. Okay. So vowel suffixes, if you have the silent E, you drop it and then add the suffix. When you're working in your book, this is a good thing to just have handy with you while you're instructing the students, because you'll have lots of examples, and even try to brainstorm more examples because they just need lots of practice. And when you're working through this, make sure they go, there's my silent E, it's a consonant suffix, no change. Right off the bat, they don't have to think any further, just write it together. Silent E, vowel suffix, something's got to go. So the E on the base word goes, and have them write it out. But make them make that little check as they go. It's a vowel suffix, there's going to be a change. A consonant suffix, no change. And continuing with lesson 23, another spelling rule, the doubling rule. I like to call this the 1-1-1 rule. And if you put that at the top of the page when a student's working, it makes life a little bit easier. Because the rule is in a single syllable word with one short vowel followed by one consonant, and if you add a vowel suffix, you will double the final letter. So let's take a look at how you could apply that when you're using your book. Because again, it would help if you just pull out your book and use the example and put the 1-1-1 right on top and have the kid use it like a little checklist. So, for example, let's take a look at this word. Is it single syllable? Big. Yes. Gets a check mark. Does it have one short vowel? Yes. Does it end with one consonant? Yes. So far it's looking pretty good. Is it a vowel suffix? Yes. Yay, we get to double. So it becomes big-est. Easy peasy. Let's take a look at another one. Glad. Single syllable word. One short vowel. Ah. Yay. Single consonant. It's making it. Uh-oh, is that a vowel suffix? No. So we don't get to double. Let's take a look at another one. Rust. Single syllable word. Yes. One short vowel. Yes. Ending in a single consonant. No. We don't even need to go any further. We're not going to be doubling. So we just know we add the two of them together. Let's look at this one. Single syllable word, wet. Yes. One short vowel. Yes. Ends in a single consonant. Yes. And we're adding a consonant suffix. So we don't get to double. One more just for fun. Single syllable word, grin. Yes. One short vowel. Yes. Single consonant. Yes. Vowel suffix. Yoo-hoo! We get to double. One example we didn't put up here is what happens if it's two vowels? Ooh. Let's do one. What do you think's going to happen here? Single syllable word. Yes. Look. Now, it sounds like one vowel, but is it one vowel? No. So we know we don't get to double. So the 1-1-1 rule works. And the final spelling rule in lesson 23, again optional, the changing rule. You've heard change Y to I and add ed or ing. You've heard that before. Well, let's take a look at when it occurs. And again, you probably want to use your workbook with students so you have lots of examples to work through. Otherwise, it just gets frustrating. They need to have lots to see. Let's take a look. We have a base word here, copy. It's ending with a Y. That's what would have to change if it's going to change. If there's a consonant before the Y, we change the Y to an I and add, in this case, ed. So it becomes, I copied the notes. Before, we learned that when it's a vowel suffix, it doesn't impact the base word. Well, here, it has nothing really to do with the suffix. It has to do with this final Y. So again, we have a Y at the base word, and we have a consonant before it. We're adding a suffix, so again, we change the Y to an I and add the suffix. Happiness. All well and good. So that's nice. So basically just looking at if there's a Y with a consonant, we're going to change it no matter what. Except if we hear y, if we hear ying. Let's take a look. Here we've got final Y, and we've got a consonant, so it looks like, okay, looks like we would just, change the Y to an I and add ing, but from the one thing, we'd have two I's, but also we hear it, copying. We still hear the y, so we don't drop it. So that can be a clue for kids. If they hear the y, keep it there, copying. Let's take a look at the other example where it's not a consonant, but now it's a vowel. So we've got the Y that might or might not have to change, and we've got a vowel, not a consonant. So here we aren't going to change the Y to an I, so it becomes joyous, the joyous occasion. Take another look at the same example. We've got a Y in the final position with a vowel in front of it. Again, it's a consonant suffix, but that's not going to matter. It's because of the vowel. We don't change it. Playful. So it's a little tricky. Again, it is optional, but if you get a chance, it helps them with their spelling.